Hi, today we're on lesson 91, talking about decimal place value. We're going to talk about decimal place value using an example with money. Obviously, as we're looking here, we have our hundreds, our tens, and our ones. Those are in on the left side of our decimal, and they're whole numbers. But when we go to the right side of the decimal, then we have our tenths and our hundredths and our thousandths. An interesting little detail about this little guy. This is an we know that this is a dime, this is a penny, but did you know that this little guy was an actual piece of money up till the 1960s? It was called a mill, and it represented 1/1000th of a dollar. Who knew? So, looking at this, when we have our tenths, we know that this is 1/10, and our hundredths, 1 out of 100, and our thousandths, 1 out of 10,000ths. So, let's look at which digit is in the tenths place. Tenths place. We look, and that would be, our digit would be 8. Which digit is in the hundredths place in each of these two decimals? Guess what? Tell me if these don't look kind of the same. We have 4 and 37 hundredths, and 4 and 370 thousandths. But with this zero, even with this zero, the tenths place is still the same. It's right here. Here's our tenths place, and here is our tenths place. So both have the number 3 in the tenths place. Now, wanting to compare to 23 and 25 hundredths and 23 and 250 thousandths. I think we talked about this, so it's been a while, but when you have a number with a decimal, you can stack as many zeros onto the right of it without affecting its value. So we could have many, many zeros, and it would still be equivalent to also this. So 23 and 25,000 is still the same as 23 and 25 hundredths. Or we can say 23 and 25 hundredths is equal to 23 and 250 thousandths. Finally, when we're subtracting, whether we're subtracting tenths, hundredths, or thousandths in decimals, the rule still holds true. You line up your decimals. So in this situation, we have 4 and 37 hundredths minus 1 and 146 thousandths. And we do the same thing that we've always done. Make sure you line up your decimal. So 1, now we put our decimal right here, 1, 4, 6. Now, I am going to erase this little part because I'm not really thrilled with how my 4 is not right underneath my 7. So I'm going to erase this, and I'm going to put it right where it needs to be under the 7. So I'm going to put my 4 right there. And now we start subtracting. Question here. What do we do with this little piece? Well, I can leave it empty, or I remember how we can put as many zeros as we want on the right of the decimal. I'm going to put a 0 here. I'm just going to pretend like I'm going to just do a little, here's my 0. Now I'm ready to begin doing my math. 0 minus 6, can't do it. I have to regroup. So I'm putting 6, and I change this to a 10. 10 minus 6 is 4. 6 minus 4 is 2. 3 minus 1 is 2. Put our decimal right there, and 4 minus 1 is 3. So our answer turns out to be 4 and 224 thousandths. Now we're going to pause and come and join me for the lesson practice. Hi, I'm back now, and we're going to do the practice set. I've got everything written up. I suggest that you do the same, and then come back when you're all set up, and we can go over these things together, and you can kind of correct yourself as we do it together. Got it? Okay, for letter A, the question that they have is, which digit in this number is in the hundredths place? We know that this is the tenths, hundredths, and thousandths. So in the hundredth place, I'm going to change my color. It is going to be 7 is in the hundredths place, right here. The next question they have is, which digit in 4 and 370 thousandths is in the same digit, same as the 2 in 15 and 24 tenths? Well, 2 is in the tenths place, and so I just look over here and find my tenths place, and that would be 3. So 3 and 2 are matching in their place values. On C, name the place value of the 4 in 1 and 234 thousandths. 4 is in the thousandths, thousandths place. And in D, they want you to find the numbers that have the same, that are equal. And as I'm looking, I know that all these digits are the same, but their values are very different. So I'm looking, and I can see that 12 and 34 tenths is the same as 12 and 340 thousandths. So A and B are equal. Which brings us to our next question. They want you to compare these two numbers. And as we look, we have all of the same digits, but we have totally different values. So if you look, 3 and 25 hundredths we know is significantly less than the whole number 32 and 50 hundredths. So we know that 32 is going to be much bigger. And we need to compare these two. I'm going to do a little circle. 3 and 25 hundredths is going to be actually the same as 3 and 250 thousandths is the same as 3 and 25 hundredths. So we put an equal sign. Finally, I want you to practice this, and I want you to do it, pause, and then come back with me, because I want you to make sure that you know how to subtract large strings of decimals. We have all the same digits, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. But notice that my decimals are lined up. I'm going to put a 0 over the 4. That helps me remember to work on it. I'm subtracting 0 minus 4. I've got to regroup. Make this into a 10. 10 minus 4 is 6. 3 minus 3 is 0. 3 minus 2 is 1. Put our decimal. 2 minus 1 is 1. And 1 minus nothing is 1. Yay! Finally, we're wrapping up. We've got a similar scenario where we have this blank. So I'm going to put a 0 there to help me. I change my to 1. I regroup. 10 minus 2 is 8. 1 minus 1 is 0. Put my decimal. 1 minus 0 is 1. And we're done. Hey, good luck on the homework. I wish you well. If you have any questions, let me know.